Cruise news and information. The U.S. Embassy has announced to U.S. tourists to be cautious when they visit Nassau, Bahamas. I'm going to let you guys know in particular what the issue was for and tips to keep you safe and how to be alert and vigilant when visiting Nassau, Bahamas. Let's talk ship. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Holiday Zay with Let's Talk Ship. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So we are going to talk about something that has recently taken place over in Nassau, Bahamas. I believe it was June 15th. The U.S. Department of State issued a level 2 travel advisory to all U.S. citizens who are traveling to Nassau, Bahamas. Reason being is because of the safety concerns when it comes to jet skis. As of August 24th, as of August 2024, there have been 6 jet ski accidents, which 3 have been to the point to where they had to be evacuated and flown back to the States because that's how severe the injuries were. And I believe it was a year ago where somewhere in the Bahamas that there was a person who lost their life due to high speeds of the operator on a jet ski. The safety concerns is sexual assault taking place and operators who are not licensed to provide these type of tours. It is definitely a safety concern. You would want for someone to have knowledge and to be licensed to show you around, especially on a tour, a dangerous yet an adrenaline rush tour such as jet skis. The sexual assault part of things, I've talked about this before on a different platform about being aware, traveling in packs, being with people who you feel safe and secure with, and being in areas where there are people around. Now, it has been reported that what happens is these operators will take the people away to go on this tour, and that's where things happen, things take place. When you go on vacation, obviously, the last thing you expect is for something like that to happen, to be attacked in such a way or for an accident to happen. There was a recent incident where a woman had went on a cruise vacation and an accident took place. It was a boating accident and she got sucked. She fell off the boat, not the ship, but she fell off the boat, and the propellers sucked her underneath the water and took both of her legs. And I believe she went on that cruise and she was celebrating some accomplishment that she had recently achieved. There's no way that you can even think or plan for something like that to happen on your vacation, to go and then to lose a limb or even both of your limbs. You're not prepared for that. I am going to share some footage. Like, this is news. I'm gonna show you some footage from Chicago News about the incidents that we're discussing today, and we'll simply go from there.
The U.S. Embassy is warning Americans in the Bahamas to avoid jet ski rentals. Officials say they've received several reports of sexual assaults and accidents on excursions there. The embassy says jet ski operators are not being forced to adhere to safety regulations. Since 2024, the embassy's received 7 reports of sexual assaults against U.S. women by jet ski operators.
So I always encourage people to stay safe. You've probably heard me say that at the end of my videos. I don't say that for kicks and giggles. There's a reason why I say that. I'm going to put on the screen the locations where some of these incidences were reported at. I've been to one of these locations, Junkanoo Beach. I've been there on several occasions, actually. I want to give you guys a tip when it comes to booking an excursion, especially on a cruise. It's always safer to book your excursion through the cruise line. I can't help but to assume that when you book through the cruise line, that the people who are affiliated with the cruise line are all licensed. They all have the knowledge, the experience, versus going the cheaper route. Because if you book through the cruise line, I can attest to that. It is more expensive. There are people who are, veterans of the cruise community who will tell you they have experience doing something and went through a third party, and they got that same experience for a cheaper rate. There's pros and cons to that. The con is something like that happening, going through a third party and dealing with a person or people who are not registered or licensed, and they may be predators. You don't know. That's the risk you take, all right? When doing so, if you're going to go the route to where you decide to go the cheaper route, don't go by yourself. Try to make friends on the ship. I was going to say at the port, but you never know who's working for who. I made a video about a year or two ago called Dangerous Port Gifts. And in that video, I was referring to people who are locals who may be working together, preying on tourists. Because you're going on a vacation, you're not expecting for something bad to happen to you. You may have heard of bad things happening to other people, but a lot of us, oh, that's not going to happen to us. And then it finally happens, unfortunately, right? So if you're going to take this route, go with a group of people. If it's all women, there's strength in numbers, right? You have witnesses, you have people around, and certain things are less likely to happen with bigger groups of people and or bigger crowds, right? Right. Not to say that it won't happen, it's just less likely to happen. It just depends on that person's or those people's desperation of committing that specific crime. I would recommend, as a travel agent, pay the extra money to be safer. Pay the cruise line to do excursions. In this particular case, jet skis are fun for a lot of people. Book it through the cruise line. I can attest that the prices are high. They are, but I would rather spend the extra money and know that I'm going to make it back to the ship on time, and that I have a higher chance of being safe and a higher chance of dealing with a group of operators who are skilled and licensed to take myself and the other cruise passengers out on a tour, whether it's out in the ocean or through, back lagoons or whatever the case may be, right? So moving forward, I hope this finds you well. That's all I have to report on that. Just stay safe, travel in groups, be vigilant, keep your head on a swivel when you're out there. It's your money, it's your vacation. If you choose to take the cheaper route, just be alert, all right? I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, do your boy a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. As always, always be grateful and embrace the day. And until next time, peace. And with all of that, stay safe and happy cruising. Thumbnail.